Thank you and good evening to everyone. So I'm here to speak about another rising India Rise story. That's about Digiyatra and Jain Sinha already mentioned about Digiyatra and he was involved with the initial days when we started thinking about Digiyatra, right? So when we started this whole journey, right? I mean, it started at a very, I'll just maybe share a glimpse of what I'm going to cover, right? Right from the vision that we started off with to the journey so far. It's been a long journey that we have taken. And then go into a little bit of the process. Perhaps you are all aware of the process, but still just a glimpse of the process and what's going to be there in future as well. How it has changed travel, perhaps you have already experienced it, so wouldn't like to speak much about that. And then what do we have in future, right? So I start with a short video.
Air travel can be stressful, with long queues, multiple identity checks, and endless paperwork. Not anymore. Digiyatra, a digital solution that makes air travel safe, seamless, and hassle-free. With Digiyatra, all you need to do is register with your government-issued ID, and you will receive a unique verifiable credential. With facial biometric verification technology, there is no manual intervention for travel document checks, baggage checks, and security checks. Thus making the entire experience contactless and health risk-free. The Digiyatra app lets you store your ID and travel data in your smartphone secure wallet, making it safe and secure. Since December 2022, more than 55 lakh passengers have downloaded the app and used it more than 3 crore times for seamless travel. Starting with 3 airports, Digiyatra has now expanded to 15 airports across India like Delhi, Bengaluru, Guwahati, Ahmedabad, Kochi, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, Lucknow, Jaipur, Pune, Varanasi, Vijayawada, Manohar, Goa, and Chennai. Digiyatra was recently launched at 9 more airports, bringing the total to 24 live airports across India, like Bhubaneswar, Bagdogra, Ranchi, Coimbatore, Dabhol in Goa, Indore, Patna, Raipur, and Visakhapatnam. Digiyatra services will be expanded to other airports across the country in a phased manner. With the newly launched airports, Digiyatra now covers 84% of total domestic air travel within India. By giving us walk in the park experience, Digiyatra is transforming the way we travel. It's a step towards the future of air travel. Digiyatra by the Ministry of Civil Aviation.
Okay, so maybe just a quick backdrop of the vision that we started off with, right? And this was some time back in 2015 when we were in a workshop and discussing about what is that memorable experience that we would want to give to our passengers in the new terminal that's going to come up. And a simple story that I wrote was that the passenger walks through all the touch points without being asked for any documents, right? The travel document or the identity document, and then reaches the boarding gate and takes off, right? So that was the story that I wrote. We put the story for vote as well. We didn't get the right number of votes. Some 6 or 7 votes is what we got. But then we did not lose hope. We started to think about how do we make this happen? And we immediately got working with various biometric service providers to find out, how we can make this happen. And airlines, DCS integration, identity integration, all these are complex sort of integrations. How do we knit this whole story together? So that's how it started, to give a completely seamless experience to passengers. So 2015 was the initial workshop. We went ahead. In 2017, we were able to actually roll out a prototype, and that's where I used to follow the passenger right from the airport entry gate to the boarding gate. And after they cross the boarding gate, I would take video feedback with their consent and ask them what their view was. At that time, people were saying that, why do you limit this to one single lane? Why only one airline? Why not across all airports in India, across all airlines? So that's where we began to see the real potential, got involved, the regulatory authorities, the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and then we had a mandate from the ministry that, okay, go ahead and make this happen, write the standard, write the policy. We started to collaborate with various stakeholders, the airports, various airlines, regulatory authorities, and eventually the Digiyatra policy got rolled out in August 2018. After that, we were left with the task of, okay, how do we build this, right? So Digiyatra Foundation itself was spawned in 2019 February, and we started to look out for OEMs who can actually build this ecosystem for us. This is where we faced our first hurdle, right? And the organization's resilience came out in true colors. The pandemic hit us. Travel came to a complete standstill. And when that happened, we began to think, okay, what do we do next? That's when the decentralized ecosystem was thought about. And post that, basically, we went ahead with the startup challenge with the help of Atal Innovation Mission and Niti Aayog, where we said that, okay, Indian startups can look at, building this ecosystem on certain standards that we had, prescribed. And then, of course, rest is history. 1st December 2022, we went live with 3 airports, Varanasi, Delhi, and Bangalore. And after that, of course, we have got 24 airports, and I'll get into the numbers also later. From a process perspective, the enrollment process, obviously, many of you have used it, so you know that it starts with Aadhaar, and then you are asked for a selfie, which gets matched with your Aadhaar credentials face, and then a credential gets created. This credential is stored in your own phone. And then whenever you travel, you get a boarding pass, and you can share the boarding pass. And multiple innovations that we have done on that front as well. Earlier, it used to be only from the app that you could send it. Today, you can also do the sharing of boarding pass using the airlines app. Like, for example, Indigo and Air India. If you're on that app, you can actually click on share boarding pass to Digiyatra, and then it triggers the Digiyatra app, and you can share. When you reach the airport, basically, you walk through the entry gate, go to security. It's the same process, and then, of course, finally board the flight. What we are now also attempting to do is international passenger process. So the electronic passport-based enrollment is something that we have started to think of, and this is under test right now, and very soon you will see that, we will be going ahead with this rollout. On the international process, whereas if you would have seen the Trusted Traveler program of various countries, right? It's limited to that particular country, whereas Digiyatra can actually give you the complete end-to-end experience from the origin to destination, meaning that, at destination airport also you can go through a seamless passenger process, walk through the immigration gates using automated border control. So that's something which we are working with the authorities. And how we have changed travel basically is that we have made it completely convenient. And I remember those days when you used to travel with multiple documents in your hand, right? And when we started thinking about the persona that we will try to address, we thought of one persona, which is a lady traveler traveling with 2 kids, right? And kids can be unruly. So managing the kids, managing multiple documents, managing the baggage, and how does that happen with Digiyatra, right? With Digiyatra, she basically just is sitting on the sofa and sharing all the boarding passes and the credentials. And then at the airport, it's just a seamless walkthrough process, right? So this was the persona that we had sort of targeted. And with that, we were able to cover most of the persona. So it's completely convenient for the users. It's also safe and secure because none of the errors that can creep in due to manual verification happen. It's all digitally validated. It's also very fast. So we have people on social media saying that, they were able to enter the boarding area in 5 minutes or less than 10 minutes, right? That's the kind of predictability that we are able to offer in the whole airport process itself. We are also a sustainable sort of a process because it helps you in completely eliminating the need for a paper, either a boarding pass or an identity document itself, right? So you walk through without any document need, and like Mr. Jain Sinha was also mentioning, it makes the airports much more efficient, and therefore, with a smaller footprint of the airport, you can manage much more number of passengers while delivering a completely superlative sort of an experience. So we were talking, the whole event is about reputation, right? And this slide basically talks about, one step back, which is the character of the organization itself, right? And the character of the organization is that, we do not store any personally identifiable information of any passengers. Whereas this is the character, right? The point is, not many people know about it. So we need all the levers that PR can give us, right, to communicate this to our audience, which has really helped. And this is something which we have been doing consistently, trying to tell about our completely decentralized ecosystem where we do not store any passengers' personally identifiable information. So what you see here is some facts about, the architecture of our ecosystem. It's a completely self-sovereign identity-based ecosystem built on W3C standards, which is a global standard, by the way. And what we have done is we have created verifiable credentials. These credentials are given to you, stored in your own phone, right? It's not stored in any central location. And therefore, there is no possibility of somebody hacking into a database because there is no database itself. So it's a completely privacy by design ecosystem. What we use also is public-private key pairs, which ensures that data in transit, everything is secure. So from this perspective, if you look at it, totally privacy by design. And as I was mentioning, this is that character that we have. But yes, it needs to be augmented with the right communication that goes out. And my next slide basically talks about that, which is that if you look at this slide, you will know that, we had to go all out and mention that, we are a completely privacy by design ecosystem. And there were, in social media, many people would speak about, that this is another surveillance tool of the nation, right? Far from the truth. So we had to put out all the right messages. And this was a very interesting campaign that we did, saying that, don't know your customer. So traditionally, people want to know their customer. So the eKYC or the KYC is there. But we put out this campaign saying that don't know your customer. And sorry, Digiyatra does not know you. So we have got 16 million plus user base. We have been here more than 30 months. We have enabled more than 67 million smiles. And still, we do not know a single one of you, right? Because all the credentials lies with you in your own phone. So that was the messaging that we did. And it's a consistent thing. And there was also talk about, how do you do this PR, right? And why do you need to do it continuously, right? Why do I need to speak at so many different events and tell the story? The audience is different. And I can give one example. So I was in a tech event, and all these guys were like experts in understanding technology, blockchain, etc., which we use. And this guy came to me after my session and said that, Suresh, I did not install Digiyatra until now because I was thinking you store my data. And now that you have explained to me the whole concept, I'm going to install it. And then he went on and also told his family members, his friends, etc., etc. So we need to consistently keep on delivering this message of how we are and what we stand for. So that's the reputation that we continue to build. Moving on, the future, right? Future holds, so we have just, with the verifiable credentials, we have just started to scratch the surface, right? It's one form of identity at one place, right? Which is the airport that we are using. But imagine if you were to fly using Digiyatra, and then land at a particular airport, and now you check into an airport, into a hotel. But there also, if you look at it, the identity validation process is something which is the traditional process where somebody takes a photocopy of your identity card or takes a photo of your identity card. So why can't Digiyatra be used? And why can't you have at hotel check-in a separate entry where you can just walk through, or you can have a kiosk where you will be validated with Digiyatra credentials, and you get your room key, right? That is one example that I am giving. So many such possibilities are there, and hopefully we'll work towards making this happen. And also, as I was mentioning, a lot of other possibilities are there. So what we are trying to do now is create a sandbox environment for others to think and build stories around, our credential. So that's something which is having a huge potential. Moving on, this will also require a lot of governance and framework which would be required at a national level and a global level. So that's also something which we are working with the ministry, and we have a proactive support from the ministry to take this journey forward. With that, I don't know if we have time for any question answers. We do have, sorry, I don't know, we have time. There is a...
Well, time's up, but sir, since you saved so much of our time and all because of DigiYatra, I think we can allow one question only for you, exclusively for you. So could we have a mic into the audience? Just one question though, please. I could give mine. Let me be the DigiYatra. Yeah, just introduce yourself and put.
My name is Sujit. I work with the Godrej Industries Group. A brilliant platform. I think it saved a lot of our time. I was just intrigued in terms of going forward. There was a time when hardly anybody was on DigiYatra, so it was like a fashion statement, get in fast. Today, the queues on DigiYatra are bigger than the normal queues. So once it fully manifests itself and you've multiple, what's the plan then? How do you really, rest of the things are great, but this time-saving bit would be, what are your thoughts on it?
Very good question. So if you really were to look at the manual process, which takes around 15 to 20 seconds, that is cut down to 5 seconds with DigiYatra. So even though there may be a queue, it will move faster. That is one. Second is that we are hopeful that, by 2028, 80% of the people will use DigiYatra, and then all the lanes will be populated with DigiYatra e-gates, so that, the process becomes consistent and reliable from a time perspective. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.